And we'll begin with politics as tension rose in Lagos on Saturday as violence disrupted a political defection ceremony in the Alimosho area. Suspected thugs stormed the venue where Labour Party members were set to decamp to the African Democratic Congress ADC, injuring 7 people and forcing the event to an abrupt end. From a perspective on this, we're joined by Chairman African Democratic Congress, Lagos State, George Ashiru. He joins us virtually. Mr. Ashiru, it's good to have you on the news this evening. Can you just describe how the disruption unfolded and at what point did the suspected thugs enter the venue?
Thank you very much. I think one of the things that led to this is the fact that the members of the Labour Party in Alimosho who wanted to decamp to ADC had gathered, planned and prepared peacefully to have the event, and they went to request the permission of the police to have the event. And then, from what we gathered, the area M police, which is just opposite the venue, they said they would not be able to let the event go on according to them because of orders from above. That the Commissioner of Police has instructed them not to allow the event to hold on. But this is a party secretariat. This is where party usually holds its meeting. And all they are just doing is a ceremony to move and become part of ADC. And you see that already established the precedents. That already, brought the attention. Because once you put your police van somewhere in front of a party office, you attract attention. And I think this is one of the unfortunate things that led to some of this. It's just a peaceful gathering of people making their declaration. And if you look at the trend, it's really quite alarming. Apart from what happened in Alimosho September last year, which is almost exactly the same thing we saw again in Alimosho this time around, we had a similar event of disruption in Ibejuleki, in Mushi, in Ojo. And there were no thugs in this instance. It was just the police basically preventing members of African Democratic Congress from gathering. The moment an event is publicized, they just simply stop it. And instead of them to provide protection for the members and guarantee their constitutional right, what we keep seeing is disruption. And now that the police was at the venue of the event, why couldn't they protect those who are there?
Were you saying that
we heard that?
Wait, are you saying that security agencies were present prior to this incident, or was it after the incident had happened before they arrived to the venue? Which is it?
The police were present at the venue of the event many hours before the event was to start. Several hours. The event was to start in the afternoon. They were already there in the morning. And essentially, once you do that, you create a chaotic environment because people now don't know whether you are there to disrupt the event or whether to protect the citizens. And I think this is a very important message that we need to pass to the Chief Security Officer of the state. You have to send a message that you do not permit this kind of impunity. You have to make an open declaration that we are not a captured territory, we are not under military, and we have a right to gather and to meet. And don't forget that part of what was said by those who came there is that they will not permit ADC to exist in Lagos. They will not permit certain parties to exist in Lagos. What form of democracy are we then practicing if people who clearly are partisan are the ones that are allowed to have such impunity and to attack members of the public who are gathering freely? In fact, I understand that they actually attacked members of a church. This is exactly what happened in September. They attacked members of a church. So church members are not even safe in this state, Lagos State, the so-called center of excellence. There's a lot more to be done, and I think we need to take it seriously, because if this is happening a year before election, I fear for the future of the reputation of Lagos and the international community. The American government is already putting attention on Nigeria. The European community, human rights commissions are already looking at Nigeria. And if we do not send a message that we do not permit, we do not accept, and we will not accept any form of violence against citizens and residents of Nigeria in Lagos, then clearly there's going to be something wrong. I expect both the Commissioner of Police, the Governor of Lagos State, as the Chief Security Officer, to make a clear statement that these sort of things are not permitted and expected. And those kinds of people will be prosecuted by the court. We wrote petitions to the Commissioner of Police when it happened in Alimosho. We wrote petitions to the DSS. We requested that certain people should be investigated. Nothing has happened concerning this. And this is alarming.
Let me ask you, you're saying that you've written to the Nigerian police asking for investigation. But earlier when we had one of your members of the ADC, and that's Mr. Gomez, he said that this is not the first time that such incident has happened with that, which is also, you also alluded to earlier in your statement. And so he has to ask about the assessment, threat assessment. If this had happened before, earlier, do you think that there could be, some worms within your circles in terms of intelligence or intel? How did they know that this gathering was happening, and how did they know where to find the venue?
Well, to start with, we're not a secret society. So we would not be pushed into organizing night meetings and secret meetings. It's a public gathering. We have a right to gather publicly. It's not a matter of whether or not we are releasing information. The police has a duty to protect us when we request for it. They have a duty to be present as a show of force to protect the citizens and guarantee their right and freedom of association. That's really the key thing. It's not about whether people are leaking it. This thing was publicly announced. There was nothing hidden about it. It was public and it was shared in all the social media platforms. These are people who are practicing they have the franchise to make a decision concerning their decamping. We have seen governors decamp from PDP to the APC and do ceremonies in their states. We've never heard of anybody attacking those people. Why is it that when ordinary citizens are doing the same in the reverse order, all of a sudden, we don't know the culprits. We don't know where they come from. And they came in buses, and they came in their many dozens, and suddenly they disappeared into thin air. And the police were right opposite where this venue was. And they could not find their way to the venue but they knew how to get to the venue of the event hours before this event was to hold. What kind of intelligence operation do we have in this country? The DSS was informed in written letters several months ago that, look, this thing is happening. This is a information gathering organization. They could not protect the citizens.
Just very quickly.
We may think this is just politics, but this is what leads to other things in other nations. We need to take it seriously. Again, I'm appealing to the governor of Lagos State. Don't let tinder boxes start in your territory and act like an ostrich. Like this is not important.
Mr. Gomez,
may favor your party today.
Very quickly, Mr. Ashiru. Mr. Gomez came in and said that he believes that the police command here in Lagos are in connivance with the APC. Do you also align with that? I'm going to ask you because you're the chairman of the Lagos State chapter for the ADC. Your member made that statement here on the news. Do you agree? Do you think that they are in connivance with the APC? And that the thugs were APC hired thugs?
The clear evidence of it is there for all eyes to see. I just mentioned several places where we were to have events. Ojo, you had 4 trucks of policemen preventing the event from even holding. In Bejuleki, they were there the night before, and it was in a private school that the meeting was to hold. How is it possible that all these things are happening and there is no statement from the police? They're not even calling our people to say, look, there's a reason why we are saying this. Please don't do this event for this reason, these security reasons. They simply make sure, okay, other events are held by other political parties, but there's no disruption. Why is it it's ADC? Why ADC? Other political parties have an event, including the APC itself. It's never disrupted. So you can put 2 and 2 together and come to that conclusion that there's some sort of understanding or connivance or instruction. As a matter of fact, in this particular case, we were told that the Commissioner of Police said they should not permit that event from holding without any excuse, any reason. And this is a bona fide office of the party.
All right.
This is a party's office. So we clearly see that as something that is alarming and dangerous, and it needs to stop.
All right. Mr. George Ashiru, I must say thank you. And just to extend the right of reply to the Lagos chapter of the APC, as well as the Lagos State Police Command, to do come here, because there are heavy allegations already made here, both in our 6 o'clock and of course now. Once again, Mr. George Ashiru, he's the chairman of the ADC, the Lagos chapter. Once again, sir, thank you so much for coming on.